Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ken Reed and I am a relationship coach helping gay men achieve better relationships with others, but most importantly, themselves. For today's episode, I want to talk about a sudden breakup. What it is, understanding your involvement, your partner's involvement, and also how to move beyond this cataclysmic emotional bombshell. So, to understand a sudden breakup is one which I classify as a betrayal of expectations. So to give you an example, you could be seeing someone for no longer than, say, 3 weeks, a month, 12 months, could be longer. And within that time, you've gotten to know your partner quite well. Or so you believe. You have met their friends, they've taken you out, they've given you candlelit dinners, they've really given you a taste as to their world. They're funny. So funny, in fact, you've never met someone as funny as this in your life. They're charming. They're also really intelligent, and you're taken back by what they've done and achieved. They've given you something that you've never sensed before in your life, and you really feel like this is heading in the right direction. And then, bam! All of a sudden, they confront you and say, "Oh, look, I don't think I'll ever be in a relationship," or, "You know, I'm just so busy at the moment, I just don't see myself in a relationship. Oh, look, you know, if it wasn't for this, that, or the other, maybe I'd be in a relationship. Oh, you know, I just don't think I love you anymore." And it's completely illogical to you. You've been here, and now you're here. And you're thinking, what did I do? What did I do? And the worst thing, too, is that you've gone from cloud 9, Mount Everest, in terms of how you feel, and you've been taken to the bottom of the Mariana Trenches. And to anyone who has never gone through this experience, I want to make this painfully clear. The feeling of being suddenly dumped is tremendous. You're not getting over this anytime quickly. There is no guaranteed, oh, well, if you halve the time that you were in the relationship, you'll get better. No. This hurts. Because you've had your expectations betrayed. You're doubting yourself, being like, well, what did I do? What did I do that caused this? Maybe if I'd done this, I'd said that, and been there more present in the relationship. No. You know, I'm afraid to tell you that this is actually one of those unfortunate cases of illogical behavior where, unfortunately, your partner could not keep up with themselves. So let me start with you and your involvement. This is short and easy. You were great. Perfect even. You showed up. You were honest, you were authentic, and you did your thing. And unbeknownst to you, you may not have even been thinking that this would go in the direction of a relationship. You didn't even think that this was anywhere close to being, you know, the love that you were expecting. But it happened. And the horrible thing is that after the breakup, we criticize ourselves so much, wondering what more we could have done. Well, moving on to your partner, I have to share the unfortunate truth, which is the fact that they'd set themselves up for failure. You see, to understand a little bit about mindset, I liken this to someone who wants to lose weight. You know, people who try and set themselves a goal and they push the goal a little too hard and too high, and they kind of just overexert themselves, make a bunch of excuses and go, "Oh, I can't do this, it's too hard," and they back out. Well, mentally, they've done exactly the same thing on your relationship. They believe that they can't do it, for whatever reason it may be. It's self-sabotage at its absolute finest. They're perfectly capable of helping to build up the idea in the relationship. They know that you're amazing. Trust me, this is not an instance of they don't love you. This is an instance, in my opinion, of the fact that they're terrified of the idea of perhaps being broken up with you, the idea that they themselves don't feel good enough to be with you. And I believe this is truly inevitable. And the thing is that that's because that individual has got voices in their head telling them that they're not good enough, that they don't deserve to be in a relationship, and the whole thing implodes. And then they decide to blow up the bridge quite abruptly. The thing you have to understand is that a traditional breakup with anyone is usually after what I call a series of errors that have just gone unaddressed, or even serious violations that have occurred and have been talked about to the point where it's like, this isn't working out. I need to help myself. No, they didn't even discuss this with you. It's so sudden, and it really does hurt. And my heart goes out to each and every one of you who's been impacted by a sudden breakup. And now that leads to how one can overcome this. I believe that the best way to overcome a sudden breakup is to recognize that your partner was not the person that they essentially tried to be. That the dream that you both partook in, constructed, was mostly upheld by you, and unfortunately they're not willing to pull it down and to take responsibility for their actions. I'm so sorry. The next step is to just take time for yourself, be kind to yourself, and understand there was hardly anything you could have done to have changed this outcome, in my opinion. During this time, I strongly urge you do not date. This person is likely on your head. You're probably not sleeping very well, your heart will be racing, your immune system will be down, and you're really feeling the impact of grief. It's almost like a person has just died in your life, and quite suddenly too, might I add. And to put it in reality, yeah, the idea that person created for you has come and gone, and now you're left with the remains of what is. So I say this, be kind, don't overwork, do not see too many friends at once, take time for yourself, ride those emotions, as painful as they are, because trust me, the more you try and distract it, the harder it will be to overcome them. And my heart goes out to each and every one of you who's been impacted by a sudden breakup. And I hope this also makes sense to anyone who's never experienced this before. It is completely illogical, unconventional, and truly terrifying when it happens. But understand that the growth you will experience from this will propel you well and truly beyond where you are right now, and you will find a happier place again. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've gotten something out of this, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.